Hey, all happy Monday.
Oh, we're going to keep going. I got to adjust the mic.
What? Trenton's, hey, let me just say this. Trenton is very happy it's Monday. He loves to start every week. He's that personality that just on Sunday evenings, he's just chomping at the bit, super excited about getting going on his work week on Monday morning. Aren't you, buddy?
I was on call last week. It was absolutely an absolute nightmare. I did not enjoy any of it. I'm not on call this week, though, so I'm actually not too mad that it's Monday.
Okay.
But I got a message. Shout out to Justin L., I think. He is a director of data science at Intuit. And he messaged me at work and said, "Hey, I'm a fan." So
wow.
And he watched Fridays.
Thank you, Justin.
Justin, if you're watching, bro. Shout out Justin.
Yeah, welcome to the SLB community, Justin. We're glad to have you. I probably wouldn't have a whole lot in common with you. I'm not sure.
I'm not a data science person. That's like a whole other thing.
I have no idea what that even is.
You use data to train AI model or ML models.
Oh, well, that
so
makes
like you data science type stuff.
sense.
Figure out what the model needs to produce an output.
Sure.
See if the data's off skew.
Oh,
you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
But you do know a little bit about whiskey, and you know.
Let's hope so. I better have some expertise somewhere down the road. I know drywall, I know that, but let's see if we can get into this bottle of whiskey. As promised, guys, as promised. I'm going to be scouring every possibility to find you good quality whiskeys for an efficient price.
You're doing a great job
Sorry,
so far.
man. We're back at we're coming to the end. We see the light at the end of the tunnel with the remodeling down here at the basement. So poor Trenton, we got to set all this menagerie up that you don't see behind the camera every time we film. And so we apologize for a couple of those mishaps. We usually have everything tuned in lickety split, but right now it's just kind of here.
It's Monday, so
here and everywhere. Yeah.
Monday,
So,
it's fine.
anyways, I promised to try to find some good quality bourbons at efficient pricing, and here we are. Here he texted me just this past week, Trenton, said he had this Penelope wheated bourbon for $40.
Off to a good start.
I said, "Yeah, I'll be right down. Let's check it out." I did write down a few things. It is 95 proof. It is a 4-grain, as most all and maybe all of Penelope is. The mash bill on this one, Trent, is 74% corn, 7% rye, 16% wheat, 3% malted barley, and the blend is between 4 and 6 years of age.
Oh, okay.
So, hey, I'm going to just start out right by saying kudos to Penelope for trying to put out a bottle that's relatively reasonably priced at $40.
So, if you guys don't know, Penelope was purchased by MGP last year or the year before, and I was excited about this acquisition because I was excited to see where MGP took Penelope because I've always liked Penelope. They put out some great stuff. Minus
Good
the Valencia,
people.
I'm just not into the orange wine thing.
Some good people there too.
Yeah, and this is a great start coming off the end of the year.
I was excited. I really was. So this is a good way to get into not too far into January and already have something that we can review that's within reasonable pricing. Now let's just find out. Let's hope for some good quality whiskey here. I mean,
It's custardy.
it is. It's custardy with some honey. If you had some custard and you drizzle some honey over it,
What is custard? Is that like an ice cream?
no, I wouldn't refer to that as no.
Because like Culver's has the
No.
the ice cream, the custard.
No, custard to me is
It's
what
a nasty word, custard.
it's like.
Sounds like mustard. I hate mustard.
Well, I love mustard. Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah, man. Sometimes with potato salad, you have the mustard potato salad, which you probably don't even like, do you?
Is it the Meyer one?
Well, sure. You can
No,
get there.
dude. If it's homemade potato salad with a little bit of like a Grey Poupon in it, I'm all for it.
No, man. It's
Or
like
Dijon. I'm all
sometimes if I have the stuff at Myers, I'll even squeeze a little bit more yellow mustard in there and mix it up with it.
There's so much mustard in that you can't even see the potatoes when it comes from Meyer. I can't. Why would you want? You don't need more.
Yes.
Anyways, it's custard.
And I would refer to it as the inside of a donut or custard filling or something like that. That's a pastry type custard definition.
Nice vanilla, a little bit of a citrusy thing, I think.
Yeah, I think a little bit of a citrus bite. That's a good one on your point.
What's this? 95?
95.
Okay.
I think that's a. And another thing I forgot to mention before I take a sip is non-chill filter, which I think for $40 non-chill filter too. I think that's fantastic.
Yo. Would you Would you consider this budget at $40?
Well, that's a good question. And that's a good topic of conversation. Would I have considered it budget 3 or 4 years ago? No.
But today,
I would consider, like we all know, we can get to the bottom shelf of the liquor store and find something for $15. We can find it. That to me is bottom shelf to me. And that's okay. Hey, whatever works for everybody. If that's some of your frequent sippers belongs right there in that bottom shelf, God bless you, I'm all for you. I think there's some pretty decent finds in there for that price. But for me, I would consider a budget between that $20 to $28 3 or 4 years ago. At this point, I think you'd have to bump that up to at least $30, 30 to 35.
yeah,
You know,
unfortunately.
so 40 is not that far off the beaten path. Now, to answer your question, would I consider this to be a budget bottle? Probably not. I'd probably consider it to be more of an efficiently priced whiskey.
It's good though, dude. It's nice. You can definitely. It's not all that in the mouthfeel department. It's a little bit lacking. It's a little bit thin.
A little bit thin. Sure.
Is it drying or is that just me?
Possibly a tiny bit, but everything that we were talking about on the palate, or excuse me, on the nose, came through on the palate a little bit. I'm not sure a lot on that custardy note that we were kind of whiffing, but to me, I'm getting a little cinnamon in there too, coming through on the palate.
Is the mash bill on here?
I just read it for you all.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's right here, but you're good.
I was off of my own land there.
Which is, you know how it is. We'll do it one more time for Trent.
Yeah, thanks.
So 74% corn, 7% rye, 16% wheat, 3% malted barley.
So the wheat content makes sense because it's pretty light. It almost honestly reminds me of like a diet bourbon a little bit. But you do get a little bit of that cinnamon. I think that rye spice, even though it's 7%, it shines a little bit. It is a little bit cinnamony. I would say it's maybe even a little bit of like not like black pepper, but it's some sort of rye spice. And it's a little light and citrusy.
Tiny bit of peppery. I would say a little citrusy. I would say a little bit of cinnamon in there. I think that's good. There's a bit of sweetness in there, maybe a slight tad bit of honey. It's not a strong influence, but there's a little bit of sweetness right there in the front of the palate too.
Yeah. Dude, that's pretty good though.
I will say this, because I want you to get a good reference. I know Trenton mentioned diet bourbon, and I know where he's coming from on that. It was more on the palate feel. Yeah. Not in flavor. Yeah. We're just discussing. And
that's a good point.
I've known Trenton, what he says, and I get it right away. But I want all you folks out there to understand where he's coming from too. He's specifically talking about mouthfeel and viscosity. For me, though, I'm pretty impressed with this $40 whiskey in the amount of flavor that's on the palate. I think it's fairly robust. I wouldn't say robust. Yeah. But I think it's fairly robust flavor coming out of here for $40.
I think for what you're getting and what you should be expecting from a $40 bottle, I think this delivers on pretty much every aspect of it. Mm-hmm. Especially for a 4-grain wheater.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you before we started filming, I noticed some of the folks in our Discord were talking about this here and there, and they were having the same thoughts. That. That was pretty enjoyable.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think I would, this is yours, I would pick one of these up. I think, too, this would be like even a great, like a gift for maybe a beginner or somebody that there's a lot that it kind of checks off the box for me. That would be a good introductory product that's a little bit more on a craft budget or a premium budget, I guess, for $40. I don't know the distribution of it. It's Penelope, so I'd imagine wherever Penelope is distributed is where it's going to be available. This is not an allocated or a limited release.
No.
Hopefully shelf stable, even though people don't like when I say that. It's still shelf stable.
Let's hope so.
I think really solid start for this year for budgets.
Well, truth be known. Harry told me this is your bottle.
Oh, sweet.
I was going there in reference of what our show is going to be consisting of on Wednesday. Tune in for that, because we have some more bourbons to go over that I felt is a new release and efficiently priced. excited. This whole week, this is like a fan. I told Trenton, we're doing this week. This is what we're doing. So I went for there, and Harry said, here, this Trenton asked for this. So that's your bottle.
Okay.
So you know.
Well, thanks, Harry, I guess. I'm excited to add that. I think I have...
I know you got a lot of Penelope, so...
I think I have all the Penelope stuff.
I know. I wouldn't be surprised. So
except the Valencia. I do not have the Valencia. I don't think it's very good. That's just me. I don't like that. I don't like orange. I don't like orange or orange wine, so take that with a grain of salt. A lot of people do like it.
Yeah, Trenton's not a big fan of anything that's orange flavored.
No.
Period.
Orange.
And there's quite a bit of orange in that Valencia.
Orange and grape are by far the worst flavors, by the way.
He half the time he has no idea what he's talking about.
No, I do though. Like I've been liking watermelon and strawberry a little bit more. If you get the sour strips, the brand sour strips on Amazon, I brought those over the other day. Those like really sour ones.
That was pretty good.
Watermelon, strawberry are the best ones from that. And I usually like blue raspberry the most, but their blue raspberry's mid. I
don't like blue raspberry. All right, we can go on and on. We're just talking about candy and all sorts of stuff. But I tell you what, it does my heart good though that we're able to put I believe, and I think with what Trenton said here today too, a good quality $40 bourbon in front of you to start out the year in January. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep finding it. We're going to keep putting it in front of you. And, hopefully some of you folks can get a hold of this and you enjoy it.
And stay tuned for Wednesday because there's going to be 3 more budget type bourbons that we're going to be talking about.
It's going to be fantastic. We're really looking forward to it. All right, guys. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and then we'll see you next time right down here with Trent and me in a good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.